Okay, guys, it is currently May 10th, Sunday, approximately 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm currently at work, and I kind of wanted to make an update video since I know that I have not recently made any videos in regards to how I've been doing with my anxiety and stuff like that. Um, Overall, I wanted to give you guys some good news. Since I've stopped taking the Lexapro, I've actually been feeling way better. I've been feeling extremely better. I've been having absolutely no issues in terms of sleeping. As you guys know from my last video, I was having a lot of trouble sleeping. I could not sleep, and it felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. It felt like the tachycardia, or in other words, a fast heart rate, was definitely something that was occurring when I was waking up every hour or every 30, 45 minutes. I've since stopped doing, I've since stopped having those symptoms, and I've been able to sleep throughout the night. Mind you, though, I have taken a lot of advice from friends, doctors, stuff like that, to relax, to constantly tell myself to relax. I think it's one of the biggest things that is really helping me out right now is changing your thought patterns. That is one of the biggest things I think that you can do for yourself. And I kind of want to talk a little bit about that. I want to talk about how the thoughts that you put into the air, the thoughts that you tell yourself, really do manifest in either positive or negative ways, depending on what those thoughts may be. With that being said, I personally have been telling myself every time that I feel some type of anxiety, whether it's in regards to my eye floaters, whether it's in regards to any type of health issue that I might be experiencing, I know I've been telling myself, hey, things are okay. Things are all right. You've been able to sleep before. You've been able to do all of these things. Nothing has fundamentally changed in the past couple of days. So I'll have on and off days. And in all honesty, that's okay. I personally, as long as I can tell myself that things are going to be okay, I usually find that to be very, very helpful. I think that positive reinforcement should overtake your negative reinforcement. It's actually a lot easier and feels a lot more comfortable telling yourself, hey, things are okay. Hey, things are gonna get better, as opposed to having those thoughts that are negative as to, man, I don't think this is ever gonna get better. Man, if it's not one problem, it's another. These are all thoughts that I used to have that used to really trigger my anxiety. Anxiety, don't get me wrong, it's a scary thing, and I understand it. I understand it because I've had it since I was a kid. Since I was in high school, like ninth grade, 10th grade, right? Um, Sophomore, freshman year, and it was difficult. I guess some of the things though that I can actually, a lot of these are negative reinforcements. A lot of whether you've been bullied at school, whether whatever it is that you're dealing with, can sometimes manifest uh, negative thoughts, and these negative thoughts then manifest other very real symptoms. I guess put it into to put it into words as best I can describe them. I personally myself have found that when you tell yourself that things are going to be okay, I feel a little bit better. Maybe because it's not the feel or it's not something that you're going to be like, "Oh man, am I ever going to get better?" It's not about that. It's about telling yourself that you're okay, because you are. Nothing's going on. You're okay. Really. So if you're dealing with some type of health anxiety, because I know that I was a very long time ago, like where I thought like every little thing was wrong with me. You know what I mean? One of the biggest failures that you can get, one of the biggest things, and eventually turn into a failure for yourself, would be to look symptoms up. Right? I can tell you one thing: you're not a doctor. And if you were a doctor and you have these health anxiety issues, that you probably shouldn't have became a doctor. You're just gonna scare yourself right into believing that you have all of these symptoms and stuff like that. But all jokes aside, most of us are not doctors. Most of us, we should take the opinions of the white coats, and or not the opinions, but the very real fact that you're okay. I think that's it's one of the more challenging things for sure. It can be very difficult to feel like this is ongoing. This is something where you feel like you're not going to be able to relax. You're not going to be able to just enjoy yourself. It's a difficult feeling. It's a difficult thought. It's a very persistent thought that at least in my case could really ruin your life. Can really make you feel like life isn't worth living. And the truth is, life is worth living. Life is worth living for those who you love, for those who are around for you. You know what I mean? Things will get better. That's all I can tell you. Things will get better. Things always get better. You got to give them time, but you also have to work towards getting better. Anxiety is not something that's going to go away on its own. You also got to realize that you have a lot more potential and you're a lot stronger than you make yourself out to be. That's something that's just a fact. You are stronger mentally than you think. And that shows, right? Because your brain is very strong, right? It's making you feel terrible, but if it can make you feel terrible, it can make you feel fantastic. And that's just the truth. A lot of times it's just the conditioning, right? So if you're doing exercise right daily, you condition your body to the rigorous activity that you do daily, and it gets stronger, and it demands that you push it, that you push it even further, right? The mind is the same way. Regardless of what you think, the mind is the exact same way. Like my eye floaters, your eye floaters, you will eventually, stop seeing them. It's not going to be an issue. You got to remember that there are times when you're enjoying something and you're doing something and you don't even notice them. And I think for a lot of us, it becomes a battle of how am I feeling today and how is this going to affect my day, right? As opposed to you imposing your will on the day, right? Or you imposing your will on your mind. Today's going to be a great day. Why? Because I've had so many before. Even if I do have, bouts with anxiety here and there throughout the day, things do get better. I can always find my safe haven, right? There's always something that's going to make you feel better, right? Always, no matter what it is. And I think for a lot of us, it's very difficult to keep that mentality where you feel like everything's going to be okay, you know? It's going to be difficult, but it's also not impossible. You shouldn't be scared. You shouldn't be scared of darkness, right? Something very interesting that I remember hearing from an audiobook. It stated that when we were younger, when we were kids, uh, every little experience and every little I would say dark corner you wanted to explore. We want to explore because we want to feel, or when we were kids, everything was meant to be explored. Nothing was meant to be feared. We had no sense of fear because we looked through the eyes of someone wanting to learn, someone wanting to explore, and it's something as we grow up we forget, you know. And the way that they put it was that we grow up to learn worse. And the thing is that we can bring that back. We can bring back the excitement that once was of life. That feeling of like you got to remember what you were thinking about before, prior to all of this stuff happening. You got to remember that you were somebody else prior to all your anxiety. And for some of us, that might have been a very short period. right? And a lot of times there's a lot of traumatic events in our lives, whether we'd like to admit it or not, that really trigger the anxiety, that really make you feel as if, you're alone. And those thoughts of making you feel like you're alone and all of this stuff that it just makes you feel like isolated from the world. Let me tell you, isolation is a horrible breeding ground for anxiety. Whatever type of anxiety you have, whether it's health anxiety, whether it's general anxiety, whether it's depression, whatever it is, a lot of this can be fixed with the way that you view life, with the way that you talk to yourself, that self-talk. And for a lot of people who are in distress, I can understand you, and trust me, I feel you, that some of these, that what I'm telling you sometimes do feel like just words. And let me say something to that. Your words are just words as well. The words that you tell yourself are just words, but they do a lot of damage. But if they can do a lot of damage, they can also do a lot of good. I think one of the biggest things that we should not forget is that, again, our minds are very powerful, and they can do just about anything that we want them to, including make ourselves feel bad. I think that if you're a hypochondriac, if you're, you deal with health anxiety, such as myself, um, things will get, there are times where things are going to get hard, and then there are times when things are going to get better. Um, and I think one of the best things that we can do for ourselves is focus on the good, focus a lot less on the negative, or maybe not focus on them at all, you know? And a lot of times we got to find our why for living, our just, our what it is that we enjoy doing. It's a very bad thing to stop doing the things that you enjoy. That, I promise you, it's going to become an issue if you do not stop. And in all honesty, I think you guys are gonna many of us are gonna feel like this for a very long time. It's not something that's just gonna immediately go away. But Rome wasn't built in a day. You've heard that expression before. Things get better. Things get better because we want them to get better. We want to tell ourselves that things are okay. We want to tell ourselves that, we're not scared of the things that haunt us at night or during the day or throughout the day. We want to tell yourselves, whenever you feel like you're going to have a negative thought, let me give you some homework. Make that thought, such as, oh man, like such as myself, at least for me, I'm not going to be able to go home and relax. That's just not true. That's factually just not true. In fact, I feel better at night for some reason. And I love saying that because I know that as soon as it starts to get dark and I start to feel tired, things do get better. And it's just something that we can't forget. It's something that we need to continue to strive to make better within ourselves in terms of how we feel, in terms of anxiety. And we want to make sure that, we continue to grow in a positive way, right, with our thoughts and the way they manifest. Because I remember yesterday was a source, like a great day for me. Not once did I feel anxiety all day. All day I did not feel anxiety. I don't really know exactly what, actually, I do know exactly why I feel the way that I do right now, because I feel isolated. I feel like I don't have anyone to talk to. I feel like I need someone to talk to. And I think one of the biggest things that I need to do for myself is learn how to be by myself. How to be by myself with my own thoughts. And it's something, at least in the past couple weeks, I haven't been doing. I've been utilizing the help of others, which is not a bad thing because we need to get through our day. And those people that are there for you, they love you and they want to be there for you. That's something that you need to remember. A lot of times we need to, a lot of times, I mean, it can feel exhausting for a lot of people, going through the same problems, going through the motions, but you don't necessarily need to talk about your problems. You just need to talk about something else. Because if you're talking about your problems all the time, which again can be helpful, right? But if you're doing it all the time, that's literally all you become. You become your problems. You become who you don't want to be. So if you take the time to be like, hey, things are okay. I'm gonna relax. There's nothing going on. I'm not gonna die in the next 5 to 10 minutes. You take it day by day. You take it minute by minute, hour by hour, however you want to do it. But you got to remember that if you take the time to talk to somebody, make sure that it's about something else. Make sure that it's about anything else, right? Train the mind, train the body to think about something else completely, right? That's what you want to do. You want to make sure that that's what you're doing. And, with time, you're going to progress. You're going to make yourself feel better. You're going to see that things aren't so bad. You're going to see that eventually you're going to get past this, right? And when you get past this, you're going to, at least if you're like me, you're going to be like, oh man, but what is it going to be replaced with? No. It's more like, what am I going to replace this bad feeling with? How am I going to replace this bad feeling with something amazing? So that when this finally goes away, it stays away for good. I think that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be definitely doing that. And with the help of, with those cognitive therapy, and then, just retraining your mind, right? If you have the funds, if you have the ability to go and talk to a professional, I would highly recommend that you do so. I got to tell you, anyone can assist with just being able to make you feel better. But a doctor will definitely make you feel better. So if you go to a psychologist, a clinical psychologist, doesn't have to be a psychiatrist, but someone who has a PhD in psychology, right, or even their master's, will be able to help you with cognitive therapy. And a lot of that cognitive therapy has to do with how can I make myself think in a more positive way, so that my thoughts that are negative don't manifest themselves as very real physical symptoms that I feel throughout the day. And that's what we're training to do. We're training our mind. And if you go weeks and months with the thoughts of, or all these negative thoughts, you are going to have to spend that much more time doing the opposite. You're going to need to train your mind. And let me tell you, there are going to be days where you're going to feel fantastic. And I hope and pray for those days for you guys. For anyone watching out there who feels anxiety or anything like that, we got to remember that that we're going to have a lot of good days and hopefully a lot less bad days. Because eventually you start to see, hey, I had a good day a few days ago. Nothing has fundamentally changed since that day other than, I've been talking to myself more negatively today. So what can I do to change that? What can I do to alter my mind and my thoughts, right? Whether that be meditation, I haven't personally done it myself. I found that just, whether it be like playing video games or just like, watching a movie, watching TV, you start to notice that these feelings start to dwindle, right? Things that I enjoy, being outside, talking to my girlfriend, talking with friends, going out, finding new things that I am now enjoying is making everything that much better. I'm feeling happier a lot more of the time, and I think that's very important to note. And these are small victories, right? These are very small victories that we need to acknowledge. We need to acknowledge that we are winning in some form, because what's the point if we continue to feel bad, right? what's the point if we're like, well, I felt good for like a day, but then now I'm feeling this way, you know what I mean? This is never gonna go away. And like, man, I thought this was gonna go away and now it's back, and all of this stuff, right? Those are all negative thoughts. Those are all negative thought patterns that you did not have the day prior, right? That you woke up feeling you had a negative thought, right? Like how is this day gonna get ruined? And in reality, you ruin your own day by thinking about those thoughts. I would recommend that every single morning when you wake up, whether you need to tell it to the mirror, tell it to yourself, right, in the mirror, today's gonna be a great day, brother. There's nothing that's gonna stop you. You are determined, and you will get your life back. I want to talk with you guys more. If you guys have anything you guys want to ask me, anything at all, I'm here for you guys. Honestly, um, I just I just really want to see who's out there. I really want to connect with people who are just like me. I want to connect with people who feel the way that I feel. So if you guys have the chance, definitely comment. I don't even care if you like the video. Like the video if you guys want to. Uh, Make a video in response to this. I would really like to get like some type of community where we are talking amongst ourselves, where we are really just trying our best um, to be okay with ourselves. To be like, hey, I'm feeling this today, and then I could probably respond in some way, shape, or form as well, or someone else can start responding, and then we just start becoming a community of those who just like to help each other out, in terms of anxiety, in terms of anything that goes on with our lives. We're here for one another. That's the way we should be. A lot of times we just need to have like-minded people in our corner. So guys, if you guys are feeling anxiety, if you guys are feeling anxiousness, anything like that, please leave a comment below. Let me know how you're feeling. I'm constantly checking this YouTube page for anything. I'm here for you guys, and I think we should be here for each other. With that being said, I need to get myself back to work here because I'm still currently at work. I want to make sure that I feel better, and I think I will. This talk with myself is definitely helping. At least it's keeping the anxiety at bay. And I'm working on telling myself that things are going to be okay. So, guys, I want you guys to continue and tell yourselves that things are going to be okay. Things are okay and nothing is wrong, and you are healthy and you are more powerful than you make yourself out to be, guys. Please focus on the mind and the body will follow. Or it might be the other way, but I'm sure they both work the same way. Yeah, no, it's actually focus on the body and the mind will follow, right? So a lot of times it's what we do with our bodies that really affect our minds. And something I've actually noticed is that I'm actually really hungry right now. Maybe I should have eaten something. And I think I will. I'm going to go and get something to eat because that also affects the way you feel, right? It also affects the serotonin levels in your mind. So ultimately, guys, that's really all I wanted to get off my chest. I really hope that you guys are having a blessed day, whether you guys believe in God or not. I gotta say, during these past couple of weeks, I've started to really come back in touch with my religion, or something that I grew up with, because sometimes it just makes you feel like you're not so alone. And a lot of times, a lot of love, a lot of positivity comes from religion, or at least from. I'm not gonna get into it, but it's something that helps to be able to talk to some higher power. And a lot of times, that higher power is really just talking to yourself and thinking positively. So whatever helps you guys. I know this video is really long, it's about 25 minutes long, but I hope that you guys enjoyed at least listening to me babble. And I hope you guys continue to live your life and take these tips, and remember, you are more powerful than you make yourself out to be, guys. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.